Hi there and welcome to the channel. Today's video sees us with two fantastic Dily Race Bs. Well, I thought they were pretty good anyway, and as you can see from the starting lineup there, we've got a notable entrant in a certain PX Cam 20 on his UK account. He was streaming this race live actually on his channel, which is a fantastic channel, worth checking out. I'm sure everybody who's subscribed to mine is no doubt subscribed to his, given he's got thousands of subscribers. But without any further ado, we are on our way, and we have the Frenchman behind us, P. Walker. For the purposes of this video, we'll just refer to him as the Fast and Furious, as you'll probably see why as we go into turn 1. Keep an eye on that radar. You can see already he is right at the tail and gives us a little nudge going round the second corner, sending us a little bit wide. So right away I knew what I was up against. I was going to be up against somebody who's going to drive pretty aggressive, pretty hard. So leading from the front, it's always difficult, especially in the TTs. You can't really get away too much because the slipstream in these cars really just it makes the race end up like a bit of a train when everybody's using them and they kind of hit a wall of speed. You can see again, Fast and Furious, Paul Walker there, dives us down the inside, knocks us out of the way, giving us a few more hits to the door. And to be honest with you, it set the stall early. I just kind of decided I was just going to be aggressive back to him if that was going to be the case, because I just couldn't be bothered with that kind of racing on lap 1. It's just, I just don't think it's necessary at times, but each to their own. He seemed very keen to try and get past, so I was going to obviously put up as much of a fight as I could. But here we see, probably should have defended this a bit better. You can see in the radar though, PX Cam's kind of getting involved, but he's sensible enough to back out. We try and hang it round the corner, go the long way. We just dip 2 tyres onto the gravel. We get forced out a little bit, and our friend Mr. Walker, Fast and Furious, picks up a 0.5 second penalty. It must have, I can only assume that was for a track cut, because if it was for hitting me out the way or anything like that, I would have got more than half a second. But yeah, it was very certainly very aggressive through that first lap, and he finds himself where he wanted to be, which is in P1. But now he has me in his slipstream, and he's going to find out how difficult it is to shake off somebody once they are firmly in the slipstream. So I've got PX Cam in my slipstream, as you can see, he's just under 3/10 behind me. As the Fast and Furious goes wide there on the corner and lets us get right in his toe. I have a little look down the inside, he's not defending it, and he brakes a little bit early, forces me kind of to go for the move, and then he just turns in on me. So I decided to kind of back out and let him keep the place, because yeah, it was an aggressive move from me. I could have probably forced the issue, and he certainly wasn't looking at his radar. If he had been, he would have seen me, and he might have taken action, because certainly if it was me I wouldn't have just turned straight in. But he's very slow through that corner there, and I know he's got a 0.5 second penalty coming up. I thought he was actually going to try and brake check me or something, but he did it. He goes south, we go past. PX Cam, if you look at the radar, gets a hit off him. So he's aggressive enough to PX as well as me, and you know, we're now just desperately trying to get away from him. So again, PX is in my slipstream now, and we go through the S's, which are really honestly trying to get these right. I was struggling on it. 2 left tyres there were just not far enough to the right, and I go wide here and I lose all my momentum, and that gives PX a good run on me coming up this straight. So we decide we're going to go defensive. We want to try and take the win. We're on stream, remember, so it was we were having a bit of a laugh. I was going to make this as much of a race as possible. So we go side by side there, and PX gives me room, I give him room, nice and respectful through Big Panky Boy, and up we go through this fast left-hander into the sweeping right-hander. Now you can see Fast and Furious is now back in the radar. He's right on PX Cam's tail, and this is going to be a pivotal moment in the race, because as you can see, he absolutely sends it, hits PX Cam out of the way, and that just causes an absolute cluster behind me. And you can see from the delta that now we have the Italian Andrea Pro in second place, because Fast and Furious has caused basically carnage, and I think PX Cam lost about 3 or 4 places because he gets shoved so far wide when the Fast and Furious decided he was going to eat it up the inside. So now we've decided, let's try and push on, let's try and break the slipstream, because if we can, this could be a pretty straightforward win, to be honest with you, because once you're out the slipstream and they're all battling behind, then it's happy days. And as you can see, we have opened up a nice gap and we have broke the slipstream, so heading towards almost a second clear. So as long as we don't, we're thinking at this, well, I'm thinking at this point, as long as I don't make any silly mistakes, this should be quite a clinical victory. But if you follow me and if you follow this channel, you will know that doing things easily is not in my makeup. I decide to self-sabotage at times. I don't know why, I don't have pressure, I don't know what it is, but it makes a fun stream. But as you can see here, inexplicably I run off the track there with absolutely no pressure. I mean, there's 2.5 seconds, and yet that expression sums up. That's how I felt, because I picked up a 0.5 second penalty. Now, doesn't seem like a lot, however, we're going to, and we are going to the last lap, but you know, it's just typical. I wanted a nice, easy, comfortable final lap, just cruise home to victory. Now I've decided, nah, that would have been too easy. So we've got the half-second penalty, and as you can see, we get a little bit untidy now. I was trying to push hard to try and maintain the gap, and if anything, I just started driving a bit more ragged. You can see the delta is coming down. We're now down to 2.2 seconds, and we're about to serve the penalty. So you can see what this then does. You know, it doesn't hinder us that much, but the delta's going to drop and drop and drop and keep dropping and keep dropping until there is about a second in it. Now I'm starting to think, right, one more slip up through the S's here and I'm going to give P2 my slipstream down the straight, and then it's, you know, the race is back in the balance. So we're trying to keep it tidy through here. Like I said, we're struggling on this all race. Managed to actually take it not too bad, but the Italian in P2, he takes it obviously pretty well better than me anyway, and all of a sudden we are down into almost slipstream territory. So again, I'm thinking I have to nail the big banky boy here, because if I don't, I'm going to have him in my slipstream firmly, giving up into the last, into sector 3, and it's sort of a quick, fast sector. So yeah, the delta maintained a 0.9 gap there, and I managed to get it back up to second, so I felt a bit more comfortable that I'd managed to negotiate that whole section a little bit more comfortably than I probably thought I would, because I thought I would crumble under the pressure. And as you can see, we're cruising round, but at this point I know that the win is in the bag. I just need to keep it on the track, and we can bring the final corner and we'll probably get the win. You can see Fast and Furious has dropped back down, he's dropping back down, he's probably tried to eat a couple of folk, but he's back up to 3rd now. PX Cam, he's in 6th, and Mohammed, who's also in the stream, he's in 7th. So yeah, it was a good race all round. Again, I made it more difficult than I probably needed to, but Fast and Furious was certainly trying to make his impression on the early part of the race. So that was race 1, and a victory for us. And that was my first race on Race B this week, so I thought to myself, good things to come. And on stream with PX Cam as well, so it was quite nice. It was entertaining. We got some good chat in his stream about it afterwards. So here we go, though, moving on to race 2, and here we find ourselves once again starting in pole position, because I managed to set a pretty decent quality time, to be honest with you, and that was giving me a good start. It was giving me a sort of P1, P2, P3 kind of starts, so it's good for your DR if you can focus on your qualifying time, get a good quali. At the time, I think my quality time was in the top 100, so it was worthwhile sort of grinding this race a bit to help with any DR. So again, though, we're going to find that starting from pole means pretty much nothing to me, because I can almost immediately surrender any advantage that I get when it comes to this. I think my middle name is Bottle Merchant, but I know the guys behind me are going to be pretty quick, because they were also doing sub 202 laps in quali, so there's not much difference. And sometimes in this race, when you're leading it, you are a bit of a sitting duck in pole position with the slipstream. So again, we find ourselves though a decent start, and we have managed to almost sort of get into break the slipstream territory, and that would be brilliant if I could do that. However, you can see we're up there, sort of pushing up into the 710s, back down at the 6. Now, if I can just nail this section, then it'll be happy days, but I go a little bit wide there. And then subsequently, kind of, you hit the, that's the problem with having the cones, you hit the cones, you slow you down, and I somehow managed to get to a track limit penalty, which is pretty much a disaster with the guys behind that are within 0.5 seconds. So we just decided we're going to play this really defensively, even though we're on lap 1. We're just going to accept that it's going to be a battle and see where we go from there. So he managed to absolutely send it round the outside, but he's never going to hang on. He did actually well not to go into the gravel, but we managed to hold on to the position there. So we managed to defend up to this point at least, if nothing else. So yeah, holding position 1 here, and we can see in the Delta we're going to struggle to hold that because they're going to just maintain that close gap you can see in the radar, and it's going to be difficult to fend them off once the half-second penalty comes into play. So yeah, now's probably a good chance to just drop in if you haven't already subscribed, or you haven't come across the channel before and this is the first time you have, then subscribe, and that would be absolutely fantastic if you did. We are closing in on 200 subscribers. You can see when I flick back there, they're in a battle behind me, and my slipstream is now going to up to, what is it, 0.7, 0.8, so we're thinking we've actually, it's ironic, we break the slipstream when we have a half-second penalty to serve, so that's just going to bring it right back into it, but it gives us a chance here to defend at least once we do serve the penalty, because now we're over a second ahead. Let's see what happens. We've got the half-second penalty, we serve it. Keep an eye on that radar, because we're all going to come flying into the long sweeping right-hander. You can see that there, jostling for position behind me, and I think that's great. Use to jostle. I'll try and pull away, but he just manages to get to my left. Now he's on the inside, and we're going to go too wide here. I'll give him space. Not about door rubbing. It doesn't really give me much space here, but that's going to be like that through that sector. And you can see there's a couple of cars now backing up behind us, and we've got the slipstream, so we can attack, but we also need to be mindful because we need to try and defend as well. So we're in a difficult situation where you're caught between attacking and defending in the TTs when we've got the slipstream. So we have a look down the inside, and the Hungarian in front manages to hold his line. We hold our line. Dipping a tyre in there, but we've got a good run on them now, going up the fast second sector here, final sector, sorry, and we think about trying to make a move, but just can't get it done. We almost run wide there now, and we've got company behind us thinking about making a move on us, so I'm mindful about defending here as well as I say, attacking, and it's a catch-22. So I let the Hungarian go a little bit there because I was that busy sort of trying to defend, and you can't do both. So we lose a little bit of time there, but crucially we maintain the slipstream, and we're coming down now into the turn 1. Now turn 1 is a dive bomber's dream. So again, we're looking at the slip, we're looking at the radar. Is it going to make the move? He is going to make the move. He sends it. I mean, that is an absolute dive if you've ever seen one. It's just as well I've seen him coming in the radar, because if I hadn't, it would have been carnage. I mean, compare it to what happened in race 1 when I sort of went up the inside. The guy just turned in on me. I let him keep position because that just seemed like the right thing to do. Not in this case, though. The Greek, he's sent it. The guy in 4th, he's just served a penalty, so he's going to drop back, and that at least gives us some distance behind us, and we think to ourselves, well, if we can all, the three of us can push on, don't involve too much of a battle, we're going to at least all have a podium. So that was the plan here. I was just going to probably try and be quite content to sit and try and get onto the last lap, and then try and battle it out. So lap 3 was going to be kind of just about patience more than anything else. And yeah, coming down towards Big Banky Boy, 3 of us all in slipstream. I've obviously left now quite a big gap, but I'm not fussed about that. I know I can catch it up when I need to. I'll let these two possibly kill each other, which would be ideal. As you can see, the Greek goes a little bit wide, but he tries to get the run on. But yeah, as you can see, they're going to start fighting, and already how quickly I've closed in on the pair of them because they're having that battle. And see, the Greek makes a move up the inside, but he goes on the grass, drifts wide, we drift wide. unreal. He goes wide, hits the wall, and we clatter right in the back of him. I don't know how. I mean, miraculously nobody got any penalties, nobody got any SR down there. What we did do though is we lost a lot of time and we let the German behind us basically catch right up. So all of a sudden, a sort of guaranteed worst finish of P3 now becomes a four-way battle. So somebody's going to lose out. But yeah, as you can see, we are now going to think about sending it, but no, we're going to be patient. We're not going to dive bomb anyone, and we just close right up in the group behind us. Again, I'm back in a situation now where I'm having to sort of defend behind and think about attacking in front. It's not something I'm great at, to be honest with you. It's something I definitely try and improve on. I always find that when I'm trying to attack the car in front, I leave myself very vulnerable to attacks from behind. And more often than not, I don't know how anybody else feels. I feel as if I lose a position more often than I gain a position when I'm in a situation like that. So it's just something I want to try and improve on, and be a bit more aggressive rather than passive. So coming through the S's here for the final time, it's going to be just about trying to hit the marks, hit the apexes, which we do nicely there. We've got a good run here, we clip the line there, and shift up to 5th to stop us go wide, and we're going to have a good run into Big Bang Boy. So we're going to get attacked from behind, as you can see, and it's going to be partly about stuff now. Who's going to have the nerve as we're going to come flying in here? The leader's obviously gone. Go to make a move, and I decide I'm going to go for it, and I do send it up the inside, just run a little bit deep there, and I mean, we managed to hold that position, but we get done in the cutback, not just by one of them, but by two of them. And that's what I mean by being vulnerable to the attack from behind, and it kind of threw me. I was annoyed with myself there, and I ended up drifting wide and flipping the wall. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I'm just kind of beating myself up mentally here, because I'm thinking to myself, you know, I had a chance to go for P2 and I'm the one P4, and I just thought, I knew that would happen. I just knew that would happen. So we come down the final corner, the two of them go a little bit wide, we're going to catch right back up on them. But we're going to go across the line, we're not going to have enough to get it done to get a podium, so we finished 4th, which, I mean, it was a good race, to be honest with you, but yeah, it was what could have been a race for me. Finishing 4th, after starting pole, you know, we're going to be a little bit disappointed with that, but still, it was a good experience, good race. Race B has been pretty good all this week, I've found. It is pretty dangerous, mid-pack to the rear, but it's okay if you can qualify up front. So yeah, had fun doing that. Once again though, if you've not subscribed, think about subscribing, hit the like button and all that. We're closing in at 200 subscribers. If I could get to 200 subscribers, I would be absolutely over the moon. We've got some live streams coming up as well, so it's always fun. You'll get the notifications, you can join in. But thanks for watching, see you in the next one.